Ibn Jarir mentions that Pervez Kisra built a palace on the banks of river Tigris. He spent a lot of money on it. He built a huge arch of this building which was like no other arch. He always had a magician, an astronomer and soothsayer with him. Among them was an Arab man who was called Sa'ib. Madan sent him from Yemen. When Kisra faced an important task, he would gather them all and say, think about what this is. When the Holy Prophet ﷺ was born, Kisra saw that the arch of this building had burst without any reason. The dam on the Tigris River is broken. He was saddened to see this. He called himself a magician and an astrologer. Among them was Sa'ib. He told them, the arch of my building has destroyed for no apparent reason. Explain the reason according to your knowledge. They pondered in the sky, and for them the earth became dark, but they didn't know anything. Sa'ib spent the dark night on the hill. He saw lightning blowing towards Hijaz. It moved eastward. At dawn he saw a green garden under his head. They will reach the east, but this, he concluded, that this is all due to the appearance of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and the earth will become very fresh. When the astronomer and soothsayer met each other and saw what had happened to them, Sa'ib had just seen that. They said to each other, by God, there is an important barrier between your knowledge and this thing. This command has come from heaven. May there the Holy Prophet ﷺ be sent. They will snatch this country from the king. If you tell Kisra that this country of yours will be taken away from you, then he will kill you. They agreed that they would hide the matter from Kisra. He said to the king, we have pondered and we have found that the dam of the Tigris and the sanctuary of the building had been opened from the day of the ominous day. Why, it has gone. Now we do the calculations for you. We will build your building on it, whatever will not fall. He calculated the figures. He asked the king to build the building. He built it in 8 months. He spent a lot of money on it until he got rid of it. The king said to him, shall I decorate my party on its walls? He said, yes. The king ordered to spread the floor and the carpet there. They were in such a state that the river Tigris overflowed. The building was swept away from below. He said to them, I have given you my nearness. I have spent my wealth on you. Then you have betrayed me. He hanged them. Again, new staff employed for this purpose. Then they calculated again. Again, he ordered to build a new building. After having finished the construction, they asked the king to sit on it. The king was afraid to sit there. He moved to right and started walking on it. During walking, the building exploded again. It kept on rending till the end. The king summoned them all. The king said, I would have died for you. Why didn't you tell me all this beforehand? They said, we were stopped by fear. The king let them go. Ibn Jarir narrated it from Imam Mahki and Abu Naim, and Karati narrated it from Makhdoom bin Hani. He narrated it from his father. When the birth of Holy Prophet was blessed, the fragment shook perfectly. 14 of its cones fell. The fire of Iran was extinguished, although it had not been for 1,000 years. River dried. King saw a dream. There are rebellious camels in front and Arabian horses behind them. They crossed the Tigris and spread to the city of Kisra. He woke up nervous in the morning. At first he dared to be patient. Then he thought that he did not want to hide his dream from his ministers and advisers. He gathered his ministers and advisers and put on his crown, sat on the throne. Then he called his advisers and ministers. When they gathered, do you know why I called you? He said, no, unless you would tell. The king was in the same situation when he receives a letter mentioning the extinguishing of the Iranian fire. This news has increased his sorrow. He then recounted what had frightened him. Mubtan said, may Allah correct the king. I saw it tonight. Then he told the king his dream. Mubtan was his great scholar. He said, It is due to the incident which has taken place in Arabia. Kisra wrote Nu'man bin Mundar. For sending able dream interpreter, Nu'man sent Abdul Masih to him. When he came to the king, he said, "What were the moments I wanted to ask you?" Abdul Masih, "Tell me, king, if I have the knowledge, I will give it to you, and I will guide you to the person who knows everything." The king told him everything. Abdul Masih said, "This kind of knowledge is with my uncles, who live in the eastern part of Syria. His name is Sati." The king ordered him to go there, ask him about this, and bring his interpretation to me. He reached there, he greeted him. He did not respond to the greetings. Masih recited, which meanings are, Abdul Masih has come riding at high speed. He has come to his uncle even though he was in the pangs of death. Sati gives his response to him, "As you have been sent by the king to tell you about the quenching of fire and the dream of Mubtan. Look at the rebellious camels of Mubtan who have been haunted by Arabian horses. They had crossed the Tigris River. They were scattered in the cities of Kisra. The one with the stake will appear. The valley will become green, and the dry valley will become dry. Therefore, his country will be rare. The kings of Kisra will be as many as the kings have fallen it." Sati died in that place. Abdul Masih came to Kisra and interpreted it. He said, "We will have 14 kings now. Then what will happen will be seen." 10 of their kings passed away in 4 years, and the remaining 4 remained till the caliphate of Uthman Ghani.